Right, we are live.
All right, I'll call this meeting to order, 6:08, do the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the
flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Just want to do a moment of silence, for those who have served our country, made it possible to live in Miami Lakes, wonderful neighborhood of Loch Lomond. We also want to remember Miss Paul. Thank you. Roll call, we have Angel Alvarez, Eugene Ochoa, Albert Perret, and myself, Patrick Gumpel. Order of business, deferrals, additions, deletions. I guess, I'd like to add our detective to do business. Give her appropriate time to, talk. There's a motion, I guess that's my motion. Second. Okay.
All in favor? Aye.
Okay, and I also like to delete for this particular meeting, since you're really not prepared to discuss it or know all the details. On the new business, A, security company contract. I believe it's too premature to do all that. And what we pretty much need to know, we can go in with, report with the committee. And then I know there's a representative from the company who will speak with us also. Those, are approved, that's great. And then, well, then I guess add, also, or he can, tail off of, Eugene, our security company, as far as do your committee report.
Okay.
All right. So with that, we'll, public comment. Okay. Pass on the public comment,
They added you to your own business.
Okay.
Did you add her at the beginning
um,
or
yeah, I just put her under new business.
under new business? Okay.
All right. And then, on the back are the minutes from the last meeting. A quick second there to approve those. We have a motion,
Motion to approve the minutes from last meeting.
second. Second, great. Favor. All right, moving on to, old business, my report, as far as, our Garden Gate district, we're asking, people to voluntarily put those stickers up by January, 14th. What I believe I remember the sign saying. And then, there are sheets available at the guardhouse. If anyone still needs to be picked up, it's not too late to get the stickers on there. That's, for my report. Moving on to the security report.
Write this down.
What color is the huge stickers?
Okay. But it's magenta. That's those. Like that, huh? Okay, I don't have enough copies. I just have a couple. I'll pass it down, but, oh, you have,
Everybody got it.
oh, everybody got a copy? Perfect. As part of the package, we got a very comprehensive. Well, comprehensive up to the date that they took over. They took over on 11/1/2023, actually a couple, 3 days before they had to. This is for SFM security.
Oh, sorry, 24 hours before they.
Okay, 24, they were supposed to start on the second, they started on the first. Okay. And this is from November 1st to December 19th. And if you look at it, it's a very comprehensive report and detail of the incidences that they've witnessed. They've categorized them as the type of, pretty much just like a daily report or a work daily report. And if you can go through each one of the, I'll let you guys go on and by yourself, but they also give you analytics and statistics. And as more time goes by, they'll have more data to, go ahead.
Sorry to cut you off. So the one that you have in your hand is the comprehensive report from the start.
That's where I would.
Until December, the one that I passed out is
One
from
is-
December to January, because monthly, I get a report
Perfect.
from SFM. And so what I'm gonna be doing is I'm gonna be sending them to you via email.
That's fine, that's fine.
But just to confirm, because the one that you have is
Right.
much.
But in any event, I'll let everybody go through the report, and I think it's a very comprehensive, detailed, easy to read, report. We've never had this before, so I think you'll find it useful, and I think it's just pretty good, just shows that, more evidence that we're getting the kind of services that, and I don't think they're required to provide you a report, but they're not required to do it to this level, so we're pretty impressed, so. So go ahead and go through it, look at it, before I'm gonna let SFM talk, but I wanna say that I think that there has been a night and day. I'm assuming everybody feels the same way. The security service is completely much better, much smoother. Things are being handled and taken care of. I don't know what your thoughts is. Can I make a motion to open the floor for the board members to discuss? Any issues that you see that you think can be improved or?
Yeah, thank you, Eugene. I agree with you. Just some positive feedback and kind of like a caution. I lived in Loch Lomond I have lived there for like, I'm going on 11 years. And no security has ever gone through my yard to check on anything. But this time they did. And they went through my yard because they were checking, there was a door that was open. So nice. The thing is that I talked to the guard, I go, listen, thank you so much for doing this. He goes, I was checking the door. Well, my son, he went through the side door, and my son got really scared because he saw somebody with a flashlight. It was at night and it was pointing at him. So he came running to me and said, Dad, somebody is in our yard and they're doing something bad, whatever. I said, oh, just calm down, and find out. Anyway, so I went to the guard and I told him, and I don't know if he told everyone, but I told the guard, you might want to knock on the door and just say, hey, just want to let you know your door is open. Just because, we have crazy people. But I was really pleasantly surprised that I was like, wow, you actually are telling me about this, and no one has ever even told me about that. I have met 3 of the guards already. I've spoken to them. Very, very professional, very pleasant, and the things that I'm seeing is totally different than what we've seen, and all positive stuff. So I appreciate it. Share that feedback with the guards, and they've been very professional as of today. That's my feedback.
No, thank you so much. John Franzor from SFM Security. I appreciate the feedback as well as Mr. Ochoa's feedback. We had the opportunity to meet with him to also discuss the findings and share an initial report. We actually have the capability to issue those reports in whatever time period you need. We're doing it on a monthly basis, so JP is informed as to what we have been doing for the last month, but we can certainly prepare a report for a quarter, a semester, or a year, or more years, so that you can see longer trends. So if there are busier months, you'll be able to see that on a trend report. We have just been working for Loch Lomond for 2 months now, so not much of a trend, but hopefully over an extended period of time, you'll be able to see that, and I can put those reports together for you. As far as our activity from the date we started the contract through December 31st, we have completed a total of 517 reports. And of course, most of these reports are our routine informational reports. But these include 65 visits by supervisors. Visits by the supervisors are important not only in terms of checking on the integrity of our officers, but also making sure that the community remains safe. So they're not just going there to check on the officers, but they also perform an inspection of the entire community. We call it a community patrol. That's in addition to the rover that you have 24/7. And they also take advantage of those opportunities to refuel our vehicle. Our commitment is that at no point in time the rover services will be stopped. So what you find is that the supervisor gets the community, gives his vehicle to the rover, takes the rover's vehicle to be refueled, and then they swap the vehicle back. So that's what explains the 65 visits in just a little over 2 months. So they almost are going there on a daily basis. And we have inspected a total of 851 vehicles between the months of November and December. An average of 428 vehicles per month, which we think is slow compared to the other communities, but those are our findings, and happy to continue sharing this information with you.
Very good.
Much appreciated. Thank you.
Thank you.
And just to piggyback off of John's points. So the reports that, like he mentioned, he gives me once a month. We worked on these reports, him and I, to make it more towards what we needed for the community. It has everything from guard gate damages and repairs, so that I can keep data and track that. And so what, if there's, for example, noticeably one thing that's happening often, let's say, for example, that the screws keep coming off, well, maybe something more is going on there to keep tabs on. Just as an example. So we've basically made it more friendly for our community, what our needs are. SFM has also placed a camera inside the guardhouse, which I will eventually have access to myself, so I'll be able to monitor the guards from my phone or computer, and they have at their headquarters. They have the ability to watch the guards from there as well, which is another benefit that Kent did not have when they weren't able to monitor 24/7 the guards. So this would be another added benefit.
Yeah, I think that's one issue that we have to start looking at, that we had discussed before, is with respect to the guardhouse. If we're gonna provide a refuge or some type of roofing elements to make it easier for SFM, so that they're not out in the rain when they're taking pictures of the vehicles. I think maybe we'll do that through the security committee or something like that. Go ahead.
John was, you were working on that, correct?
I've reached out to multiple companies
Okay,
for awnings, and I haven't gotten anyone to get back to me as far as what we are requesting.
yes.
What I'm looking for is for awnings that are retractable,
Yeah.
that are, because in the end, you need one that can be removed in the event of a garbage truck or whatever, or a big car.
Yeah, but this would be, what we had last talked about was that it doesn't go perpendicular to the road, it's gonna go parallel to the road, so it'll go on the other side.
So you're talking about to the left of the guardhouse.
Coming out of the guardhouse, going east.
Yeah, going towards Main Street.
Going towards Main Street, okay. Because I'm not just simply looking for a quote for,
No, that
For-
quote will still work.
no, but I'm saying I'm not just simply looking for a quote for Loch Lomond, I'm looking for a quote for other guardhouses as well. So I'm still waiting, I guess, once I find somebody that is willing to do the retractable, then it'll be easier, maybe I could split it up. And
I have a question, do they have to be like an approved vendor or something like that, or?
Well, let me rephrase, they need to be approved in terms of we need to go through the bidding process.
I understand that part, but like if I give you 3 guys from Hialeah, they can do it, is that something that you could use, or they have to be like some,
We require W-9 and stuff like that, so if it's a company, yeah, absolutely, if you could send them over to me.
Yeah, I'll just give you the
Contact information, absolutely, and I'll reach out, 100%. If you already have somebody that, in mind, send it and I'll reach out to them and try to get, it would be nice to have multiple quotes.
Sure.
Ultimately, to look at, and multiple options. But as soon as I have something, I'll go ahead and share it with you.
That's all we have for the guard gate. From my end, the security. So I don't know if you have anything else.
I know you touched on it before, but I just want to make, for the record, a note that they stepped in a day prior.
That should be.
The
other people abandoned the game.
Yeah, Kent, left in the middle of the night and they stepped in, we made it work
You
out.
stepped in too, right?
Yeah.
Working it at night.
Yeah,
Well, I had to step in for a couple of hours to.
You were there, yeah, when I came in and then you were there, yeah.
Late night too.
It's
Um,
not like a breach of contract or there's nothing written on that or?
It was, breach of contract that we just simply are moving on from. You know, at this point. They left and it's in the past at this point. So SFM, like I said, they stepped up and they stepped in,
Mhm.
in the middle of the night on short notice. They had their phones on at 3 a.m, which is,
Yeah, right.
So you guys abandoned the student in the morning, not.
No, I mean, to just give you our perspective on things, JP called, our operations manager to explain the situation, and he called me. And of course, we, reacted immediately, and actually what we ended up doing was that our supervisor for that shift, went in as a rover, and our SOC went in as the guardhouse, guard gate operator. So while they were on the phones dealing with company
Yeah,
issues, they were also providing the service. But we also started calling the officers that had already been hired and told them that they would start 24 hours earlier rather than, on the day that was scheduled. So I'm happy that my team was able to be flexible and we were able to put everything together for you and the town. So very happy about that.
and I should say that it wasn't, to backtrack a little bit. Breach of contract would probably not be the right word. It was a misunderstanding on their part as far as the dates. So technically they followed with what they said. Having said that, I did let them know that same day and they decided to leave anyways, but, is what it is.
so something we'll keep in the back of our heads here. So,
Yeah.
all right, hey, appreciate you bringing that up too. That was, great what happened. All right, thank you, and I guess we'll cross D off since you've already talked about the awning. You want to update us on any kind of landscaping?
Landscaping, so, we put in the flower change in, November, right before Thanksgiving. Flowers were changed. They're gonna be updated again in April.
Okay, the
Um,
bushes are scarce on the, guard gatehouse side of things.
scarce.
What's the proper word? It's like
Been
Not enough of them.
huge bald spots.
Yes.
receding hairline.
They're,
Fine.
they're, they're trying. It's funny. All right, bald spots in, on, where'd you say?
On the, guard gate side
On Barclays.
of the, that garden. Some terminology here, but.
Yeah, okay, I will, I'll go ahead and look into it and speak with, our landscaping team.
Okay.
See if we get that resolved. We did get the light fixed. I know that was something that you and I had discussed. The light was not functioning properly on the timer, on where the flowers were placed. That was, fixed. And, yeah, if there's anything else, obviously bring it to my attention and we'll get it.
Okay, super. Moving on to new business. We have, from the from the Dial Lights, police department, here's some guests that will, share with us.
Yes.
Please.
Detective Nieves, Miami-Dade Police Department, assigned here to the town of Miami Lakes.
I'm sorry, what's your name again? Officer
Robin Amador.
Robin Amador.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Very good. So, we are attending, this meeting this evening, because I've been meeting with, JP and we're, wanting to ramp up our crime prevention efforts, throughout the town. And we thought that this would be, a good place to start, to meet with you all and to discuss, moving forward, a number of things. This is still in the planning stages, but, for example, we wanted to be able to reach out to you all regarding your individual HOAs and meet with you to provide more information, to attend your HOA meeting if you would like us to provide in whatever information we have, plus any questions to answer any of your questions. One of the things that we'd like to do is to be able to have a point of contact readily accessible to us so that we can also make requests for residents to check their video cameras. If an incident occurs, we normally are out there knocking on doors and asking residents to take a look at their cameras, a certain time frame. And we still do that type of thing, but if we can get the information out there quickly, there's times when we knock on a door, maybe leave a card, and just, it's not as an efficient way to get things.
Just, we gotta focus on guardhouse.
Guardhouse,
related. So
please,
if you
yeah.
wanna mention some of the things that.
Right, so
specific-
regarding the guardhouse in particular, there's no LPR
Not at
at this location, right? So, for example, one of the things we were also talking about was communicating more with security companies. We reviewed their post orders and provided some ideas and suggestions. We want to be able to also work closely with them. Regarding the guardhouse, also lighting, we want to just be sure that there's good lighting so that whatever images we do receive of vehicles coming in and out. Is there 24/7 security cameras recording vehicles coming in?
Yes.
So access to that, which I can talk about.
Question, is that true? That's, or?
Yeah, I wanted to qualify, here's my card.
Mhm.
So SFM has 3 cameras at the guardhouse currently. One camera, inside the guardhouse, watching, the activity of our security officer. And that camera is recording. And then we have 2 cameras pointing towards the inbound and the outbound lanes. But those, only have a live, they don't have, recording features.
So in and out.
Yes.
The in represent live, it's not recorded.
What is the question?
You said live but not recording,
Yes.
so what's the purpose of having it if we're not recording?
They're not meant to monitor the cars. They're meant to monitor the cars. They are meant for them.
No, the ones outside, you said, no? You have
Yes.
2 outside,
And one inside.
look outbound and inbound,
Yes,
so they are not recording,
yes,
or they're recording.
no.
They're not recording, right?
So again, to repeat myself. 3 cameras, the one inside the guardhouse, watching over the security officer's performance inside the guardhouse. That one is recording. We have recording for that. The 2 that are located outside the guardhouse, they're facing the inbound and outbound lanes, but those are not recording.
Right, and the reason they're not recording is just specifically because for anything related to, public records or anything like that, they're not meant to monitor the vehicles, they're meant to monitor the guards. That's the intention of those cameras, okay? So they're not meant to capture if somebody gets into a car accident. They're not meant to capture the vehicle and, be used to, for insurance purposes to find out, you understand what I'm saying? That's not what it's intended for. It is meant to monitor the guards. They have 24 access to those live feeds. They could watch it from their headquarters. Pretty soon, I will also have access to those to be able to monitor the guards from my computer desk here at work or on my phone. So that is what it's meant for. It's not intended or is monitoring the vehicles themselves. Does that make sense what I'm saying?
No, what you're saying is understood. The question is, it almost sounds like we can't have them monitor 24/7.
No, what I'm understanding is the two cameras coming into Loch Lomond and the two coming out of Loch Lomond, they just for visual, but they don't record.
Correct.
So in other words, if somebody comes in with a truck, just to say a truck, and picks up somebody's golf cart, just to say a golf cart, walks right out of Loch Lomond, we cannot go back 2 or 3 days to see it because it's not recording, correct?
We have a system.
You guys already have your system.
Oh, okay.
You have your own HOA system that you don't need a live feed from
Plus,
SFM. You already have your
plus,
system.
okay, so I understand where your question is coming from. But before we get into that, I wanna ask, but legally, it could record if they were paid to do it or what have you, because you said it's a public, something about, public.
It's a public records issue. As an example, that's why they're not facing the guards. I mean, they're facing eastbound and south and westbound, but they're not
to me, the
facing
public
directly the-
issue. Is it like, it's like not legal, or is it like? It's a new, why is it a public issue?
Think of it from a liability issue. Someone gets into a car accident and they wanna see the cameras and get the footage so that they can use to get somebody
Sue
to
somebody. or
sue
do
somebody or pay some,
Whatever, okay.
right? So that's why they're not,
Okay, so they're intentionally not a.
absolutely, they're only intended, like I said, they're intended for our purposes to monitor the guards on the
But
24
we
hour
do,
basis.
okay, so then I understand that now, and that's something that we can address. If we want to address, I don't even know, but we have our own cameras that are constantly recording.
Yes, but wouldn't we be at the same risk?
No, because you don't work for the town of Miami Lakes. You have your HOA, those cameras are
Private.
through the
It's a
HOA, so
closed-
it's private.
Even though we're not an official HOA?
You are an official. HOA.
You're a virtual HOA, but I think a city, I can go to the city, I want the minutes of this HOA or this or that, it's a public, everything that they talk or discuss or send becomes public record. In ours, I mean, you can always get it, but you have to go to a judge, you have to do a lot more than that. Now I understand.
I understand all of that. I'm just, what I don't understand is, okay, go to finish.
Hypothetically,
Yeah.
someone contacts Patrick and says, I want the footage from the accident that took place at 3 o'clock yesterday. It's up to him if he wants to provide it. Or that person has to go to the court system first to request that they get whatever it's called, to be able to get that footage. That's not the case as a public record, it's went through the town. You understand? Anyone can ask for public records.
I'll give you one, even on top of that. Let's suppose that there's an attorney that wants to collect data. He's gonna pay somebody just to watch all the cars that come in and come out and what type of vehicles come in and come out. They could go to him and say, I'm making a public request and I want all the cameras from this date to this day. I want all the pictures. And you can't stop. He can't say no.
Right.
That's the reason why. They want to find you, let's say, that, like, if you I'll put it another way. Let's suppose that you have a business, some trial or something where you said you were in Biscayne Boulevard and 8th Street or 10th Street. And okay, and I want to check that out. I want to know, I want to verify that. So I go to I know that you live in Loch Lomond. I want to look at the cameras from this date to that date, then they can be used against you. In our case, they have to go to Patrick, and if Patrick or myself or whatever, we don't have there's no good cause or it's just some stranger, he has to give it to anybody. It could be somebody in another neighborhood, it could be because it's public domain.
let's give it an even.
No, I understand.
I think that's the reason.
No, it's clear. to
And I'm
me.
exaggerating, I mean.
No, I understand. It's clear to me. I just wanted to understand what was the difference.
But again, you guys have your own cameras already, which is recorded, so you have access to that if in the event of anything that was to occur. But you should also take into account, same thing, if somebody wanted to go to court and request these recordings from you. That
So they have to go to court to do it.
Yeah, because it's not a public records request, it's separate. You guys are a private HOA.
Okay.
Now, I think we went way off topic. That you were talking about stuff.
I mean, it's always good to know
Oh.
the difference, because like, I'll give you an example, the street cameras on Langley Drive, they all have traffic cameras. But they're not recording, they're all live, and then like, we have a feed here at our station, and we can monitor them if there's an accident, so like that. But we can't go backwards, and it's all because of you have to have a custodial delegate to have all that information, and there has to be an amount of time that's by law that has to be obtained. And then if there's an accident, they can go in and say, oh, there was an accident 3 years ago, and I want this information. You take away all of that by saying, you know what, it's not recording, it's live, and it happened, it happened.
Clear, makes sense to me. Okay, yeah, good to know.
Yes, so trying to stay on the guard gate topic, yeah.
Bring up lights.
Yes,
So
like,
that's something, John would help you with, I guess, if our lighting wasn't up to.
If you guys approve
Right.
a better lighting.
Yeah.
So it's up to you, it's up to you guys.
so regarding lighting, this is not an example of your community, but just an example of the importance of lighting. If, we have information that a vehicle goes through and we don't have enough lighting, we may not even know what color the vehicle was, or to be able to continue with a given investigation, but with the proper lighting, then we'll have a precise color, we know what we're looking for, and it's just, it's very important, even sometimes whatever someone is wearing is not that, it's not very clear. We might, get information from a resident saying, oh, the person is wearing light clothing, and it's actually black clothing, because if it's night vision, it's gonna switch the color, so that's one of the topics that we're wanting to discuss. Another issue was, the lock it or lose it campaign, you all familiar with that, the little signs about, lock your vehicle
Oh,
or
yes.
lose your stuff. So we were considering maybe if you all wanted to consider putting a sign near the entrance or by the guardhouse, something like this. I know that you all have a drive slowly, and I don't know if that's part of the guardhouse or not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the guard.
So, yeah,
That counts.
so a lot of the communities, right, have these nice little signs that just slow down or drive slowly for our children. And so perhaps there could be a consideration for when residents are arriving, a little reminder of, maybe not this design, but something to remind them
More
to,
permanent.
yeah, to lock their vehicles, because we have seen that, I don't want to provide like an inaccurate number, but a great majority of vehicle burglaries and auto thefts are keep ops, unlocked
Absolutely.
vehicles, and I do believe that the awareness has helped out, because I would say a few years ago, I would see some video from residents and subjects are opening every car in the street, and now I see that a lot of pulling on the door handles and not being successful at it. So I think that providing information to the residents is proving to be helpful, and so we want to continue with that.
Is there like a printout of that we can just send to all the homeowners, just kind of like to remind them? Because you could have a sign, which is important, but a lot of times it becomes something like, oh yeah, I'm just watching it all the time.
And I don't know that, I for one, I don't know, it starts, the sign starts looking like graffiti instead of, you know, a sign for this, a sign for that. and,
Yeah.
You know, and in our
Absolutely.
neighborhood, I don't know if that, I like your idea that's something that maybe we could, a flyer or something we can send to everybody.
Even in the chat,
And
always
those
a
are
reminder.
things- Those are things that I'll discuss with you at your HOA meeting.
Perfect.
So, again, yeah, we did review the post orders, for the garden. We're gonna reach out to them and work closely with them. This is just another example of why lighting is important at the guardhouse. Because for whatever recordings you have, and I don't know if that's an order of business that I would discuss directly with them at another meeting or now regarding contacting, who to contact for video from the guardhouse. That if you have 24/7 video that we can, reach out to you about, to see the quality of it, you know,
Mhm.
it may be a, pretty good quality, but if the lighting is poor, it's, it's just not gonna be helpful. And, again, another example of lighting, and it would be also something that maybe the guards would also check the landscaping and things that could obstruct, cameras and lighting as well.
Yeah, just to jump in your area in particular, you're by the golf course and there's no lighting available. There's no lighting right now for the golf course, and that is a worrisome area for someone to come in, would be through the golf courses. So that is something to consider is lighting in the future. And that would be my recommendation, to review the lighting in that area by the golf course, especially for the nighttime.
Do we know our cameras that we have access to? Is our lighting adequate now? Do we know?
Probably not up to that standard.
Not up to.
So, yeah, it's something we'll review.
Yeah, I, every time those things get better and better, I think there's so many years you have to improve, so I think what we'll probably do for improvement there.
But didn't we just put a camera, not even a year ago, a year ago?
Well, a bit over a year.
Year?
Did you have any questions?
I actually have a question, but I don't know if it's, it might not, but I'm gonna try, John, tell me if I'm off. Where I used to live in Alamanda, we would get for the HOA, for the security, we would get a report every month of the crime statistics it was emailed, in Miami Lakes. Is
I
that
get
something-
those monthly.
Oh, you do get those?
Yeah, I could send them out to you
Well,
if that's something that you want.
I think we should share it with the security company. Because they can get a trend of what's going on, right? They, not dump them with too much stuff, but just, hey, look, we're seeing, or maybe we could do it, if you give it to us, we can advise them, hey, look, we're seeing an uptick in.
Yeah.
In
I could do
this
that.
month or
Certain
something,
incident,
right,
yeah.
certain incidents.
So you guys
I
know.
could absolutely forward it to John and SFM and also send them out to you guys if that's something that
I mean, I don't mind looking at it and then like through you, right? Or, hey, this is what we're seeing, please pay attention to these items. So I don't wanna force them to look at stuff that they don't have to, it's not within their purview. But for me, it's
it's up to you guys. I could send it to the entire group, or I could send it to you directly.
yeah, so send it all to Patrick, and he always gets it to me, and we'll kind of share it amongst ourselves and then give him a report.
Perfect. Yeah, I can do that. I do that for another community as well already.
All right, super, appreciate that.
Maybe we should put that as
Action.
action item. But would someone like to propose that to do it?
I propose that we put it as an action item to get the report, distribute the report, and provide feedback to SFM with the report.
Okay. All in favor?
Perfect. Yeah. Shall it be written? Shall it be done?
All
I actually had a question. Somebody mentioned security committee, so
Yes, we do.
you all have an actual security committee, so
Yes, we
that
do.
would be great, so I
right. No trouble.
reach out to you directly.
Absolutely.
Work together
Absolutely. They're,
on crime prevention efforts in your area.
And like I said, we do have a meeting coming up that we're gonna put together, and you'll be invited to that, which all the residents will be invited to. We'll probably be at the baseball field there, most
Okay.
likely. And get that taken care of. Not the new year's over.
This maybe has nothing to do with the Garvey, but I just wanted to mention it, and maybe we can talk about it next time, but. Do we have crime watch committees, in around Miami Lakes?
We do have a committee, a public safety committee.
I mean, but that crime watch, like neighborhoods that actually have a crime watch program, that you know
I'm pretty sure there have been, I don't know if they're still active. But where I used to live, there was a crime watch, there's those yellow signs.
I'll chime in on that. The trend unfortunately has been, right, something happens in the neighborhood and everybody wants to do a crime watch. So the first month is active, and I tell you historically, right, this has been going on, not just in the town, it happens everywhere. This month, we're going to go at it so hard because it happened, and we're gonna meet at your house because we're gonna meet at your house and we're doing. By next month, again, you're the host and you're gonna have it, because you need to have it at a location where you guys come up with. And you're always gonna be fine because you're the host and you say, you know what, I wanna do it. But the first month you had 20 people show up, the second month you had 2. And then the third
Like our
month, you're
meeting.
sitting there going, oh, wow, because, right, everything it happened 3 months ago, so what ends up happening is there's a huge uptick and then suddenly it goes back down. So initially, there was a watch, order, I mean, a crime watch, neighborhood watch, and then also there's.
Okay, I didn't know what it entails.
We've had residents make the call to
Yeah.
the organization.
Okay, something, all right, yeah, I mean, look at us, it's usually, it's only us.
This will be the crime watch.
Yes, you know, we've had volunteers call in.
Yeah, no, we keep eating like that, we'll be drinking too much wine, so.
That is a good question.
I got dog and let him lose like Logan at night.
Hey, maybe that's a good idea, offer some good wine.
I don't even have to be cost.
So they have a chicken, turn your house, and then they'll go.
Okay,
Very well, so I'll be
Yep.
reaching out.
yes, no,
Is there
after the
anything
meeting,
else?
we'll exchange
Perfect.
the numbers and all that.
Anything else I missed regarding the guardhouses?
No, we discussed the post orders.
Yes.
So we did discuss, potentially making changes to some of the post orders that we had already made changes to, but getting PD's input, I feel, is gonna make it even stronger, in terms of the rules that the, security guards follow. Especially when reporting, incidents or, if they see something, to say something. That's another thing that I should also mention is if you see something in the community, say something.
Yeah.
So, you have the non-emergency line for PD, we can get that information for all of you, and if you could pass it along to some of your community as well, so that they have it. And obviously, you could always reach out to me if anything happens, and I could always work with SPEN directly. Since we have cameras, we're able to see things immediately and jump on it quickly. So it's
That's a big thing we talk about at the HOA meetings, it's the stigma or taboo of not wanting to call 911, and
Yeah.
we encourage everyone to just, call us.
Yeah.
other than that, yeah.
All right.
That's- Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All right, so moved. Meeting is adjourned. Thank you.
What time?
It is.
7:40.
Okay.
Thank you for that great support.
6:50.
You need, yeah, I bet. Very simple. I bet. Alberto, last name is